Hello, welcome to the Reloading Podcast here on the Firearms Radio Network, presented by Primary Arms. Tonight, we're going to talk about 3 items in a press.
Sounds like a good topic.
But we lost Nick and Ray. Sharenda, why'd you kick them out?
I had no parts in that.
You turned your camera back on and there they were gone. The hell?
Well, oh, I know what the problem is. I'll be back. I forgot to get coffee.
I switched out coffee for beer.
Junkie. Good for you.
Cheers.
I am.
Yeah.
This is
that's tasty.
Where's it at? This is on reserve for Saturday.
What is that? Looks like liqueur. Here's
Peanut
Nick
butter whiskey.
Ooh. That sounds delicious. Anyway.
I'll be back.
All right.
Welcome back, Nick and Ray.
So,
Sharenda stirred it up already.
Yep. So, the dynamic milsurp duo, what you guys been up to? Especially Ray, because Ray hasn't been here for a while.
Oh, I've been traveling.
Yeah, you have.
I've been all over the East Coast the last month or so, and
were you singing "I've Been Everywhere, Man" while you were doing it?
Just about. Logging air miles and rental car miles and hotel points and you name it. That, and I've done a little bit of reloading too, so I can't complain.
Reloading on the road or reloading at home?
At home, I've done some 223. I've loaded some 300 blackout test loads. Haven't got a chance to shoot them yet, but
I happen to know a good friend that reloads up in his sleeper.
Really?
Yeah, he uses the Lee hand press.
Yeah, you get that.
He uses it for decapping. He doesn't do like 375 or anything like that. But the smaller stuff like 223, 38, 9mm, he can do that right there in the cab of his sleeper.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Well, you know who it is, Mike?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
What you been up to?
And other than that, I had to work a lot this week. Did a little bit of hunting on Saturday, and then Saturday afternoon, we got one of my plates installed on my bench, my quick change inline fabrication plates mounted, and
nice
RCDS rock chuckers mounted up on the press right now. So
nice.
So the bench is coming along.
And probably the first of the year, you'll be doing the podcast from down there, right?
Yeah, that's my goals. Have first of the year from downstairs.
Nice. So Paul's busy in the process of moving stuff. Travis is doing parental stuff tonight, so that's why they're not here. Jason's still getting all settled. So,
by the way, oh, never mind. I guess you're not done. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I took my wife's nephew shooting Friday evening, and we had a great time. Took the 357 Magnum, the revolver, and I took my Mark II.
Nice.
How about you, lady? Did you do any shooting or hunting or anything like that? Very professional.
Oh my gosh, my phone never rings and everything rings at the same time. Hilarious. No, I didn't get to do much shooting. No, I'm about to tell a bold-faced lie on YouTube Live. I did had to go do some scouting last week, and after we scouted, we shot some clays. And I know some of you are probably wondering, why would you shoot in the area that you're going to be hunting and scouting? Because the deer are used to shots over in that area because we shoot on the property. Cute. I'll keep it. And I'm taking my mentor that got me into pistol shooting asked me to mentor her in hunting. So I am super excited this weekend. I get to take my mentor and I will get to be her mentor Friday. So hopefully she gets something. And then I am planning to take some young ladies hunting the weekend of Thanksgiving. And my basement flooded twice in 4 days. It just dried out. So I'm dealing with that. So it's busy. So working this, um, trying to make sure I didn't lose anything important in the basement, and then trying to figure out how I'm gonna get my reload stuff in here. I got outdoorsman problems, but I'm not complaining. It's actually could have been a lot worse. It's interesting these next
Yeah.
couple weeks. That's about it. I'm getting other people sold on that Benelli. I'm not being the only one suffering. I got some pictures on my social media. One of my league members asked if she said, "Can I shoot it before you send it back?" And I was like, "No, but you can take it with a bunch of other ladies to shoot it." So I think 3 people are probably going to be looking into buying one as well, and then of course the men had to get in on it too. So
Yeah, I saw that post. That was pretty funny.
yeah, it was. It's like I'm not the only one that's going to be hoodwinked, and
Mm-hmm.
yep, I'm trying to be a bad influence in a good way.
Oh man.
I feel like you want to add something onto that comment, and you're just holding back.
No, no, no. I'm just laughing about what I changed your name to.
I see it. We'll leave it that.
And then I'm cracking up about what Sharp just said too. He said he's not editing out the ringtone.
Funny. I've had that ringtone since Yahoo was what Google Chrome is today.
Mm-hmm.
I have managed to transfer that ringtone from Android to Apple, back to Android, back to Apple for probably 18, 20 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I am so serious. I have it backed up in clouds, stored on multiple devices. I will never let that ringtone go.
Yep.
I remember when Yahoo used to be the big search engine. It's not so much anymore.
No.
Yep. Nope, not even close.
I remember when Yahoo used to offer free dating sites.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
talking about the groups they used to have, the Yahoo groups.
Nope, this was a site dedicated to dating only.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
They
Yeah.
literally did have a dating site.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, that's funny. I was working on editing my video that I shot for my Mantis Laser Academy, and realized that it was absolute garbage because the audio was garbage. So I'm gonna work on reshooting that. So I'll get that posted up on YouTube. Kind of a better showing of it than what I did on the podcast the one night. Other than that, working in the I'm working over in the gun library now. So I get to look at a lot more fun stuff.
Are you allowed to tell us exactly what your duties are in the gun library?
I will
Least
be
generally?
buying as soon as they take the training wheels off. I'll be buying guns and selling guns.
Buying from incoming customers
Yep.
and selling them to outgoing customers.
Yep,
So kind of like a drug dealer.
pretty much.
Guns are a drug, aren't they?
Except for I'm buying now too instead of just selling.
Drug dealers have to buy products.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations, Thomas.
Thomas Peterson is very happy, I'm sure. He
Oh, yeah.
got his
Ooh,
suppressor
congrats.
stamp came back today from the ATF. Mr. Peterson, how long did it take you? Do you know? Can you tell us how long it took? Mine
I
took
think,
7 months.
well, his is a Form 1, though, so I think his was
Oh.
only 4. Yeah, exactly, Sharp. What he's doing is signing over his paycheck when working in the gun library. It's called the Employee Reinvestment Program. My wife doesn't like it much, but hey. So I wanted to say to the mid coast of Maine, the life the way it should be. I also have a Model 14 and 35 cal. So game on. I started working on some loads. I'll make sure I start sharing that data when I get back to it. Since I'm not going deer hunting this fall, I kind of tabled all of that. So Chris said it's job security, pretty much. So yeah. So yeah, not much on the reloading area. Oh, that's pretty. That is so pretty. If you're in Discord, you get to see a picture of it. So, but
Oh, I forgot Discord existed. I haven't been on there in like ages.
hey, Paul, even though he's not on the panel tonight, is messaging Ushrenda in the chat.
Where's that troublemaker at? I don't see. Shut up, Paul.
Razzi. Razzi Sorenda. Ah, that's cute.
That
Razzie
35
is more than my salary.
Yeah, 35 rem would be a hell of a bear gun. So,
Black bear.
you can get them moving pretty good. So,
Yeah, well, I wouldn't trust that caliber. I'd want something a little more like the 350 Magnum.
so
Yeah, whatever.
well, I suppose in Maine you're pretty much bear gun or black bear, not grizz.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Oh my goodness. Anyway. So, tonight's topic is 3 items in a press.
It's a good topic.
So, here's the deal. You have to choose one specific press. So you can't say like, I want a single stage or I want a progressive. No, you have to specifically choose one press. And then you have to choose 3 reloading tools. Now, the press or the dies and shell plates for the whatever press you get, they're not counted in this. So, and I just found another reason that I love Vanessa Kitty. Her favorite order at Starbucks is a large caramel macchiato with 3 added double espressos. Oh, yeah. So, I agree. But a Bits Nut says, shoot a Grizz with 35 rem and all you do is alert them that lunch is available. Possibly. Anyway. Depends on what type of bullet you're using. See, the problem is you can't use normal expanding bullets in a lot of calibers on a Grizzly. Now, if you're using solid cast lead, game on. But I'm definitely not using 157 grain or 158 grain on them suckers. But anyway, I'm not hunting bears, so it doesn't matter. So, all right, who wants to go first?
Not me.
Jim,
What?
you get to go first.
I'm gonna defer to the lady. She knows it too. I can see by the grin on her face.
I saw that coming. I'm gonna have to go with the single stage rock chucker only because I've not had a chance to look at the progressive yet. Tools. I'm definitely gonna have to go with a scale, a ultrasonic cleaner, and a caliper.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with those. It was hard, but I'm gonna stick with those.
What type of scale?
I am going to say I like the balancing. I prefer the balancing one because I hate dealing with batteries.
Okay.
I'll stick with that. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, Shrenda, if you don't mind my asking, here's the hard question: why do you choose beam scale over batteries over electronic scale?
One less thing I have to worry about keeping in stock. Sometimes I like if I'm in my garage and it's extremely cold, the digital display isn't always reliable.
Okay.
Did I mention I don't want to have to deal with batteries?
Yes, you
Hate
did.
dealing with batteries.
Yes, you
I
did.
always need a battery when the batteries are dead. I don't care how I keep them stocked. I hate dealing with batteries.
Holy
Oh
crap!
my
Holy
gosh!
shit!
Who is that?
Dos
Well, hello.
Equis!
That looks like Rip
What's
Van Winkle.
Stranger danger.
Wait. Where's the camo curtains? I don't like this.
uh
I
it's
don't
in
like this.
California.
I don't like this. We gotta get you some new curtains. Camo curtains back.
I asked my wife for some camo blackout curtains for our bedroom, and she said no.
Okay, I'm gonna have to agree with her on that, but we need to get you a camo backdrop in your WeZone room once that's done.
Deal.
Mm-hmm.
How's my sound? Is my sound okay, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, groovy.
So, what you been up to, Jason?
Adapting to a different way of life.
Yep.
Once I got up here, so my friends have a friend who is a gunsmith, has a shop down the street from me.
Oh hell.
And so I contacted him about deneutering my ARs. And he said, sure, bring them on down. So I don't remember how many took him. 4.
Uh,
And took him about 45 minutes. We were chatting the entire time. And I actually think he and I used to be friends on Facebook because he used to have a shop in California. And I kind of remember that.
Yeah.
But anyway, he got done. I said, what do I owe you? And he goes, nothing. It's a free service for political refugees. So he's got a customer for life now.
That is
You bet.
awesome.
now,
Where's your gin and tonic, Jason? Somebody's accusing you of having a drink.
Don't have one around here.
wait. After the week I had, I think I'm toast to you getting out of California.
There you go. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome to
Cheers.
Cheers, Jason. Good seeing you,
Thank
buddy.
you.
That
Good to see you guys.
It reminds me of a conversation I had with a couple. They came into the store the other night and they were asking about. They just moved from Illinois, and so they were trying to find out, how the laws were different and stuff. And they're like, so I said, well, first off, are you Wisconsin residents now? And they go, yes, we both are. I said, okay. So if we want to go shooting, do we need to have a FOID card? Nope. If we want to go buy ammo, do we need a FOID card? Nope. So if we wanted to buy a gun, do we need? Nope. I said, welcome to freedom. They both started laughing.
Yep.
So, Vanessa, it's called a trust. She asked, can corporations buy weapons, as in if I make a corporation? And no, it's not a corporation truly. Well, it can be a corporation too, but most people just do it as a trust. The heck is that? Your dog?
It sounds like a train.
sounds
Oh,
like
did you hear my dog whine?
Yeah.
It's snack time. He's reminding me.
Oh, so he's saying, "Excuse me, it's been 25 minutes since I've snacked last." That's hilarity. So, anyway, so Jason, what we're doing, like I texted you, is it's one specific press, 3 tools, and away you go. Dies, shell plates don't count.
Okay.
that's
So
all you can
Jim's up
have is
next.
three tools.
Jim's up next. What do you got, Jim?
Well, my Forster coax, which is a single stage press,
Okay.
and my 1010, that which is a beam scale made by OAL's 4RCBS. I've had it for many years,
Right.
and a set of calipers.
Okay.
And I can make a powder funnel out of a case if I have to. So powder funnels they're very nice, but they're kind of important. But actually, the other thing is too about a powder funnel, you can use the pour spout on this beam scale to slowly, carefully pour the powder into the case. It's very tedious, very difficult without spilling it, and I've never done it, but it can be done.
Yep. Okay, so I want to change one thing. I took calipers to be an automatic assumption that is a basic tool that everybody needs. So we're going to take calipers out of the equation. So Sharenda and Jim, what are you replacing the calipers with?
Case gauge for me.
What's that, dear?
Case gauge for me.
That's pretty much the same thing as your calipers.
I know,
Come
but
on,
it's quicker.
come on,
It's
come
quicker.
on, lady, give.
Quicker. No, let me think. Come back to me on that. I gotta think about what
right.
would be my diehard fourth one.
Powder master.
Okay. All right, Nick and Ray. Whoever wants to go first.
For my press, I'm going to go with the RCBS Automaster, the 50 cal. I can load anything from a pistol up to 50 caliber. I can reform cases if I need to. I'm going to go with the Frankfurt Arsenal wet tumbler. I'll go with the Frankfurt Arsenal IntelliDropper because you're going to need a scale. Plus, you got to weigh a dispensing powder and some brand of power trimmer. That'd be my 4.
Yeah, I forgot I mentioned my case trimmer too. You got to be able to trim cases.
Got to be able to trim. I figure, yeah. If you weren't going to include the caliper, I was going to substitute. Put the caliper in, and I figure I can always wash brass in a 5-gallon bucket with detergent and Lemmy Shine. So that's my 4.
And my 4, I'm going to go with the Lyman All American 8. The reason kind of why I'm looking at that, it's still built, nice cast iron construction. Another nice thing is I can have 2 sets of 4 die sets on there. So I can have multiple die sets on there, have them set out that way. Plus, I can prime on press, which is a nice feature with that press. I'm going to go with the Lyman Case Prep Express Center. So I can do all my trim, chamfer, deburr, primer, pocket clean, all on that. Nice thing, it's also plug in, so I don't worry about batteries or anything. As well as my dad did, I'm going to do the Frankfurt Arsenal IntelliDropper. Both get my scale and dispensing powder. And then for my third tool, probably would have to be, being that I do mill serp, I'm looking at some sort of bullet puller, either the Hornady Camlock or the RCBS bullet puller. And then I'd say since I don't have access to a wet tumbler, media tumbler, just sink with hot soapy water, do it that way, and then air dry them out on a cookie sheet or in the oven.
Oh, I thought I was going crazy.
Dude, you just shot COVID all over me.
Mike is
You muted
definitely
yourself, Mike.
If it was COVID, I would, but so anyway. All right, Jason, what are you thinking?
So my rock chucker, my charge master, and I was going to say calipers, but Mike poo-pooed me. So I'm going to go with my Frankfurt Arms wet tumbler.
Okay. So somewhere in the chat, Paul said what he would do. I gotta scroll back up. I take it you have wood floors, don't you, Jason?
I do. Sorry, I'll try.
So Paul's choices: RCBS Summit, Henderson case trimmer, amp annealer, and FX 120 with an auto trickler.
If I say a sturdy bench, would that be assumed? We already have one.
Benches are assumed.
Okay.
All right. So my choices, and I've been kind of going back and forth with this, but I actually decided that I'm going to go with a 750. Because with the 750, I can get a case feeder and a bullet feeder, and I can also get a case trimmer. And I can do pretty much every caliber I want to do. I don't foresee myself reloading 50 BMG anytime in the near future. So if I get to that point, well, then I'll just get a Lee load all, or a Lee load it type thing. So, but as far as my three tools, I think I would probably go with powder dispenser of some sort, maybe a teledropper, maybe Paul's favorite one. And then my other two, I'm not sure. Because I don't really care if, I can can clean brass, however, that's not that big of a deal. So I don't really need a cleaner. Um, I don't know. It's a tough choice because I don't need a trimmer because that's part of the press because I'm sneaky. I don't need to worry about priming because that's on the press. So there's a couple of comments being said about calipers. I didn't say we're taking calipers away. I said calipers are automatically included. It's not part of the three. So everybody gets a caliper. It's like Oprah. You get a caliper, you get a caliper, you get a caliper. You're kind of dumb, you get two calipers. Um, that's a tough choice. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Well, what tools do you have to do at least the basic reloading? Look at it that way. That's why I made my choices. The tools I have to have.
Well, I've got the trimmer. That's part of the press.
Okay.
Like I
What
said, I
about?
can.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're talking progressive reloading. I'm thinking we're most of us are thinking single stage.
Right. But the thing is with the 750, you can still run it like a single stage. Not as easily as you can with a 550. But you can still do it. So, um, I guess a powder funnel set.
Do you need that? You wouldn't need that because you're loading on a 750. It has powder funnels.
True. I wouldn't need that either. Hey, Jason, does the fancy trimmer deburr as well on the Dillon?
Dylan does not have a three-way, but when I was doing 223 on that, they didn't need to be deburred. It was such a clean line.
Okay.
I didn't have to deal with that. And somebody, let's see, Daniel Anderson was asking about Dylan's. The only reason I didn't mention Dylan, Daniel, is because I just moved. My shop where my reloading is going to be happening is full of everything that didn't go into the house. I don't have room to set up my Dillons. And I was thinking about getting my stand and my RCBS set up so I could reload in the house. That's where I was coming from for the moment anyway.
Jason, nosy question, kind of personal.
Mm-hmm.
Is the house you moved into the house you bought there? Is it larger than the house you moved out of?
It's a little bit smaller. It's laid out way different. And I have an extra person, an extra dog, and an extra cat living in our house with us.
Okay.
So
So you don't have the room at the moment.
Yeah, until it works out. It'll work out soon, but until it does, I just don't have a lot of space right now.
Understood, brother.
If my wife would get all of her crap out of the house.
Right?
Yeah, I like the way you beat up a woman. This all refers to the way he talks about his wife on Facebook. That's all.
I guess since I have room for one thing, I guess maybe an annealer.
That's
That'd
an
be nice.
important tool.
So,
It is nice.
especially if I'm using a progressive to do it versus a single stage, because the everything is slightly different on what you're doing to it. So yeah, I guess I get an annealer.
Yeah, I guess what we were thinking originally was the fact that most of us thinking along the lines of Phil Rabelais, bit of kind of a survival SHTF scenario.
Nah, we'll do that some other time.
Okay.
So does anybody want to change anything out? Nobody?
Stick with my first option.
Okay. Shredder, what are you playing with? That's awful noisy.
Gun stuff that I can't show on air.
Dag nabbit.
Sorry.
So, Fuzzy Fork 8 said you $100 you could do it. Yeah, you still could get into reloading for $100 if you're not counting powder, primers, bullets, and brass.
Well, what does the lead load all kit, the hand kit, cost anymore? $30.
Yeah.
And they make those for majority of the calibers out there.
Mm-hmm.
So
I actually grabbed I think I have 1 or 2 of those. I bet, yeah.
I have like 6 or 7. I want to find a 12 gauge one at some point in time. So
I didn't know that they had one for 12 gauge.
I'm looking for a 410 way to load 410 shells without spinning an arm and a leg.
I think I'm just going to buy a conversion kit for a 650. Or the 600 Junior, I should say.
Mm-hmm. That's I'm trying to find a Mech Junior on auction, relatively inexpensive, that I can buy a conversion kit to load 410 for.
Yeah. Keep looking at garage sales. You might come across one. So
That's that high bid I do everywhere.
yeah, I've got one sitting out in the garage. That's what it's waiting for is a 410 conversion. So now that I have a 410 that I actually want to shoot.
I got a pretty cool 410 that you don't see very often. So
we had an awesome one come into the shop. Winchester Model 42
ooh.
with a cuts and a Simmons rib.
I have a single shot infield 410
Nice.
in immaculate condition.
That's amazing.
Never been dropped. It's in because one little scratch on it.
Well, it wasn't French, so why would it be dropped?
True, but it's incredible. I've even fireformed some brass out of 303 British. I'm gonna make some display cartridges, how the original cartridges would have been. So
Nice. So Daniel Anderson wants to know, are the $100 and up die sets that much better than the value sets? Daniel, that is kind of a loaded question. And the answer,
I think you get what you pay for.
you get what you pay for, but it depends on what you want.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're hand loading like Paul Nelson, then the value sets aren't going to do you any good because you're not going to get the precision out of it that you want. So, so that's kind of the thing is. Next question up in the queue is mid-coast of Maine the way life should be. When does the annealer become important to purchase? After you've loaded a rifle cartridge once.
mm-hmm.
Anybody disagree?
No, but explain why.
So the purpose of an annealer is to not necessarily, it's not necessarily softening the brass, but it's de-brittling the brass. Everybody says soft because it's more of a concept that a lot of people can grasp and understand. But what happens is when you resize a piece of brass, so you say you get once fired brass, you resize it, go through all the work, shoot it again. Now it's got 2 cycles on it and it's starting to brittle. Is it going to blow apart that next load? No. Can you probably get like 3 or 4 more loadings out of it? More than likely, unless it's crap brass. But what that annealer does is you start annealing after your first load on once fired brass, or if you're really anal, you can anneal the once fired brass. Um, and what you're doing is you're resetting the metallurgy back to the way it was in that brass. So basically, as far as the brass is concerned, it was never loaded and shot. So, Ryan
The
said,
brass neck, Mike. Remember, we're talking about the neck, not the head of the case, not the
right.
wall of the case.
All right. So, to be specific, when we're talking about annealing, we are only annealing about that far. You're getting the neck and the shoulder and a little bit of the body, and that's it. Because what happens if you get down to the bottom here, Jim?
You pop primers and throw gas, shoot gas, drive gas up to the firing pin channel and drive it directly into the shooter's eye. Don't bother asking me how I know so much detail.
Sounds like stupid tax to me, but
Hey, Mike, if you want to open on me, I got one that's annealed, so you can kind of show people. So
there you go.
We'll go back a little bit.
So they can see that light.
Yeah, you see the discoloration on Nick's case? Yes, perfect. About a 1/4 inch down on the body, but the discoloration, you can see how it's annealed.
All right. So Sharp said, reloading podcast, wouldn't you say it also depends on how much you shoot? If someone that starts to reload and say only loads 50 rounds a year, they would really need to anneal for some time. Would they really need to anneal for some time? Probably not. I mean, if you're literally just loading hunting rounds and you load up 40 rounds and then you wait till you shoot 20 of those and then you load up 20 more, no. But if you're going to get into annealing, the sooner you get into it, the more beneficial it is. Because it isn't a automatic time machine for any piece of brass you ever find. So Ryan said he anneals bench rest rounds every time. So
Sorry. I was trying to figure out how to give us a thumbs up, and I can't do it on my laptop here. And so I opened my phone, and of course it started playing audio.
There you go.
But while I'm talking, I would also say annealing would depend on what you do. If you want to shoot long range and you want consistency, anneal. You're going to want to anneal.
Mm-hmm.
We just had a bench ruster say, I anneal bench rest rounds every time just to maintain consistency. I don't anneal rounds in trapdoors due to the fact that I load low pressure and very light crimp. But he doesn't choose trapdoor as far as bench rest. He's probably shooting something like 6 millimeter. Creedmoor or something like that, 6.5 Creedmoor, or whatever the caliber may be.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, that's the thing is there are certain times where it's absolutely not practical. If that's all you're doing is you're literally just you've got an old Springfield trapdoor and you're just shooting 45-70 out of it, then no, don't really need to anneal. Paul Nelson asked, "Is it worth to load 50 rounds per year?" Yes. 9mm rounds? No. 5.56? No. Hunting rounds because you want to be better? Yes. Especially if it's if there's the WBY after the number. So Ryan said he shoots 6mm dasher to be exact. So Madaw said Jim Madaw said also known as normalizing the work hardened area of the brass. So
I appreciate that, Jim. I'm glad somebody put the correct terminology out there. You know me, I'm a word guy.
So I didn't know Chris Sharp edited our podcast.
yeah, he just started up him
While
and
you
Travis
were incognito.
while you're on sabbatical.
So blah 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 blah. Edit that out, Chris.
You're a dick, Jason.
Yeah. Your point?
You know you'll pay for that, Jason. You know he's gonna tear you a new one.
I'm sure I will. We'll laugh about it over a beer one day. And I hate you more, Jason. LOL.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so Midcoast says, so I buy bullets at my store. I fired them, cleaned them. Now should I anneal them? Not many people push that info. Are you talking about annealing bullets or are you talking about annealing brass?
I'm going to assume he misspoke and meant brass.
Yeah. So I'm guessing, and Midcoast, please clarify, but I'm guessing.
Edit that, Chris.
Damn it.
You go, girl.
Oh,
She's
my
just
goodness.
becoming as incorrigible as the rest of us hooligans.
Yes.
I'm going to mute myself.
Anyway, so I'm guessing Midcoast is talking about buying cartridges, loaded cartridges, like new rifle, like factory ammo, and then he wants to know if he would anneal. You could. Do you need to? Probably not. But if you're like Ryan, then you're annealing for consistency, and that's another step in the process. So I would say it wouldn't hurt. So as long as you don't do like somebody on the panel and anneal the entire cartridge, or the entire piece of brass, is you're just annealing that top part of brass. It's not a process that causes harm.
It's a process that a little bit will do good, a whole lot will do bad.
I did an experiment about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I took 100 brand new cases. Well, I took 100 brand new rounds, factory loads, shot them, reloaded them, shot them, reloaded. After the first shot, I had to trim, and I got up to 20 times reloading those same cases before I started to see neck splits and worn out primer pockets.
Okay.
So I've heard a lot of people, if they're going to try to keep their brass, anneal about every fifth reloading.
So
Yeah.
that's about 2,000 rounds you got without annealing.
Yeah, and but there again, that's just for plinking ammo, not hot rounds. So again, if you want better accuracy, then yes, you anneal every time. more consistency, I should say. But yeah, you can push 223 rounds with a mild loading up to 20 reloadings before you probably even have to worry.
Yeah. I mean, it all depends. If you're gonna get a new annealing, then there's no harm in annealing after every load, honestly. But do you need to? No. Um, so Vanessa wants to know: should you anneal 50 BMG? Yes. Um, Daniel Anderson said if you normally buy the brass cheap, the return on investment is for annealing is way off. Possibly.
Jason, there's one here I want you
Yeah.
to take.
Paul Loud's got a question for you.
So I just gave him a signal. Don't know if he caught that, but no, you don't, Paul. Just shoot it. It's all good.
Okay, so Midcoast was talking about just buying brass. So if you're buying brand new brass, should you anneal it after a loading? Not necessarily.
Yeah.
So
If you want the consistency, if you're
Right.
doing something special with it, then yeah, you would. Otherwise, not necessarily.
So he just fired 20 rounds, collected his brass. Should he anneal, then reload every time? If you're
What are
trying
you
for
doing with it?
yeah, if you're trying for the consistency and you're trying to eliminate every variant, yes. Otherwise, if you're just trying to save the life of the brass, not necessarily to do every single time. So
Like a lot of the older rounds Nick and I reload, we will tend to anneal those more because you get longer case life. Theoretically, I mean, you should.
I don't think you would need to anneal brand new brass. The only exception to that would be if you are using it to make something else, then you would.
Like for example, with my martini brass, I have to anneal when I make this because I'm forming it down so much.
Right.
It needs to be annealed.
Several times.
Several times.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, you were going to say something?
Basically, repeating what GGW just said, new brass is already annealed. I believe after they go through a certain amount of processes, they do anneal it again. At least some of them that I know of.
Yep.
All right. So the typical, so Idaho Rogers kind of nailed it. Said, funny thing about reloading, you can ask for 4 hand loader guys a question and get 6 opinion. It's best to do your research for your needs and do all your own testing. It's never a one size fits all, and that's truth.
True.
So, Vemjum asked about what methods do you use? Gas, salt bath, induction. From what I've seen, salt bath's kind of a bust. It's not very effective. Honestly, the cheapest way to get into it, gas, propane torch. There's a lot of options out there that you can actually make your own with just a regular old benzene or benzomatic torch. So there's all sorts of different things. There's even one that you can use a cordless drill and a socket to do. So Ryan just said his martini brass gets annealed 3 times during forming. So
That's right.
Yeah, it's right. We do 3 now. I think about it. Yeah.
but Paul Nelson said 5.56 at 5.56 loads, you're only going to get 5 loadings out of it usually. So annealing might be a good thing if it extends it, but most of the people are going to make target loads out of that, so it's probably not going to be loaded to 5.56 pressure. So.
Wouldn't that also pertain to the rifle you're firing those 223 cases out of?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Some can have more. What am I looking for? More
Bigger chamber.
tighter chamber. Yeah.
Yep. Be both ways. You get an AR or an M16 upper receiver, chamber, I should say, barrel. They're going to have a bit of larger tolerances, as much as 3 to 5 thousandths.
Yeah.
Larger chamber.
Okay.
And that's going to work the brass even more. Now you get something match grade. I've got them all at 12 upstairs. It's not match grade, but it's a savage. And I'll tell you what, I could put two together anytime I want to within 100 yards.
All right. So Paul Loud wants to know, on a serious note, would higher pressure rounds necessitate the need for annealing sooner?
Absolutely.
Yes, without a doubt.
Anytime you work your brass, you got to take into consideration how hard you're working it. Like the one gentleman said, he barely loads very light loads for his trap door. With a light crimp, he's hardly working his brass at all. But like higher pressure rounds, like if you're loading SHCF rounds, yeah, you'd want to take, and if you do that a lot, run that a lot, stuff of that caliber, that nature, yeah, you'd want to reload or anneal your brass.
Yep.
And like Mike said, you can anneal brass on the cheap. You really can.
So, Ryan said some head stamps require more annealing than others, in my opinion. Forming 3240 from 3855 Starline brass seems to benefit from annealing more than, say, Winchester brass. So,
very well could be.
Yeah, that would be manufacturer-based issues there.
Right. And the reason for that is brass isn't brass.
That's a fact.
If you take 4 different companies, and actually, if you take 4 different lot numbers from the same manufacturer, it's entirely possible that your metallurgy is going to be different for each of those pieces of brass.
Not enough to make a difference as far as safety and quality and so on and so forth, but the content will actually vary because it's a science, but at the same time, you got to understand the purity of the materials that they add could actually affect it. We're talking tenths of a thousandths of percentages points, but Mike is absolutely right. It can make a difference.
Yep. Both Andy's 79Z28 and Elk Blood 01 say anneal every time.
Yep.
So, no, Chris Sharp, Remington bras are not the same as Lapua brass.
Sharanda, you got a comment?
Not gonna touch that one.
So, Idaho Rogers USMC said, Paul Loud, I agree. I shoot a 224 Valkyrie. Wow, I actually know somebody who does that now. And it's a must to anneal every firing in order to protect that brass life. So, and Paul Nelson said all manufacturers have a different annealing time. Look at the amp. Yeah, the induction annealers. And that also goes for if you make your own induction annealer, which you can do also. So I mean, it's not a set science either. So you can't just, if you buy an annealese, then Jeff has spent a lot of time with a lot of different things, and he's got a ballpark for you to start with. but and so does the top of the line inductive. But you know, if you make your own, it's not necessarily a guarantee of the same thing. So you might wind up wasting some brass because you overheated it. Underheating isn't a problem. You just let it cool back down and away you go. Overheating definitely can be a problem.
I
So-
will say that when I saw Travis induction annealing, I was impressed by how hot that brass could be made.
Right. So, Mac Raven said in Lapua comes annealed from the factory. So there you go. Uh, this one goes out to Jason and Sharenda.
Yep, that was me. Sorry.
Are you starting one of those appliance sound bands? That's awesome. So, congrats, Elk Blood. So, his wife got her first buck Saturday or Sunday with a 30-30.
Congrats.
Nice little 5x5. Good. That means I can use a 30-30 on an elk if I ever get the chance. Jim Madaw, we're not going there.
Well, I'm going to highlight it.
Excuse me.
So, yeah, I mean, annealing is definitely one of those things that's not talked about enough. And it's kind of one of those, some people still think of it kind of like a black magic thing, and it's not, and it shouldn't be. It's definitely worth the investment. It's not one of those things. If you're reloading, borderline hand loading, it's definitely going to be worth the investment. If all you're ever doing is making 9mm and 5.56 target ammo for 3-gun, then probably not. And Paul Loud, no, because it would probably, because do you really want to see Jim or Jason or me or Ray or Nick in a Remington bra? No. And I wouldn't ask Shren to do that. So yeah, no, you don't want to see that.
I don't know. Nick might be attractive.
Have you seen his legs? No.
Oh, God.
You'd be surprised what he might do for primers.
Some pretty sketchy stuff.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
I'll do some sketchy stuff for
Nick,
some
I
primer.
didn't understand what you were doing there, buddy. Show us again.
Whereas Guardian of the Galaxy.
Yeah, we only get 30 viewers, so who's going to see you, Nick?
No.
Yes, Nick. Go ahead and post your Cash App up and let's make that happen.
Nobody wants to see my calves. They're massive. I can't even find gators reproduction size for reenacting my blood size.
You know what I'm getting you for Christmas?
Oh God! You bought my Christmas gift today, so.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's another thing I didn't go through that and I didn't say. Duh.
Yeah.
Dad
What's
bought my Christmas gift today. Bought me a Liberty Safe today.
Oh,
Oh,
congratulations.
Nice.
What color?
Nice.
Oh, boy, it's not the fancy. It's a Centurion.
That works.
So I'm trying to get all my CNR license stuff transferred to my new address. So SPR will have to be here, so I have to have some sort of nice safe.
Yeah, you do. So. Hey, I know. Let's check Primary Arms and see if they got any of them Remington bras. Nope, they don't. Anyway. So, Primary Arms has got a whole bunch of cool stuff. Right now they're running a 12% off sale, so let's go to check it out. A good place to get all sorts of fun stuff for the holidays coming up, or if somebody's got a birthday, that type of thing. If you use the coupon code FRN when you're buying a Primary Arms optic, you get a mount for free. So, want to take time to thank them for being a sponsor. Also, got to thank Jake and Ryan over at Patriot Patch Company for their sponsorship.
You bet.
And here is your patches of the month for
I cannot look at
November.
that patch without giggling. I don't know what it is about Turkinator that tickles me.
Oh, because it's absolutely freaking hilarious. That's why. So, this is your Black Friday one and your turkey one. Black Friday, turkey.
What does
Obviously.
it actually say? You're not holding it still enough.
Live every day like it's Black Friday.
Thank you.
And it's a hat with a pair of NVGs. So. It's kind of hard to get it to focus with that script. So. But I want to thank them. I want to thank, like I said, I want to thank Primary Arms. I want to thank all our Patreons for supporting us and helping. Excuse me, helping this show to continue to go on. So, sorry, trying to keep from coughing still. Thank you to everybody who continues to tune in every week live. Thank you for all the likes and the thumbs ups. Thank you for everybody who downloads the audio podcast. We're slowly but surely getting caught up. We will not be having a live show next Tuesday because it is Thanksgiving week. Congratulations, Jorgen, on your deer. I expect some sausage in the mail. Anyway, yeah, so we'll be getting caught up on that and getting some bunch. I'll get quite a few posted. I'm gonna try and get another one posted tonight, another one posted Thursday night, another one posted over the weekend. So, and then I gotta get some more to Chris to edit. So thank you very much, and then Travis to edit. So, anybody have a shout out? Bueller. Nope, no shout outs.
I got a shout out.
Huh?
I've got a shout out.
All right, shout
What
out.
you got?
To my homies in California. GTFO, dude. You wouldn't believe how nice it is out here in real America.
You betcha.
Amen to that. 2A all the way. I got one too. AJ Harmon. Give me a call.
I got one too.
What you got?
Chris, all these annoying sounds are for you to have to edit out later. And next week, I'll make sure that I have some ones uploaded that are worse for the following show. Ha 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 ha.
You forget that if he starts paying me, I can mute you. Anyway, yeah, no kidding. Paul Lau said just to brag about the gas prices, Jason. That's enough. So, all right, gang. On that note, keep your brass shiny.
Be an asset, not a liability.
Jump on the Millsap short bus.
Teach them to shoot and reload when they're young.
Introduce it to the ladies. We'll enjoy it just as much as you do, but just don't tell us no when we dip in your stash.
Support the Second Amendment, guys. That's what we're all doing. We all do, but preach, send the gospel, preach the gospel. It's like Ray said, teach them while they're young. Yeah, we got to indoctrinate them. Well, that's just the way it is. They're indoctrinating against us. Let's indoctrinate us for ourselves. Join some organization. Join GOA. Join SAF. Join whatever.
Oh my goodness. Oh, and on that note, gang, just remember, if you're out there struggling, 1-800-273-8255, give them a call. They're there to help. If you know somebody who's struggling, make sure you check in on them and make sure you let them know that getting help is strength, not weakness. And just, keep an eye on everybody. And remember, we need you around. So, good night, all.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.